What's going on, guys? Welcome to week 2 of the weekly rewind of Prime Time. As always, I'm here with Jake, and we're going to review the week and judge your every move. How we doing today, Jake?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, Bryant?
Uh, we're going to be doing great after we go through this first matchup.
Yeah.
But hey, it can't really get worse.
Mhm.
So, kicking off, me versus Preston. I talked a lot of shit last week. We all talked a lot of shit last week because Preston's team looked, and honestly, it still is bad. I stand by that. Preston, your team is bad. My team
Yeah.
might be worse. um, it doesn't help when Aaron Jones and Nick Chubb were the top two running backs on the week. That hurts a bit.
Yeah.
35 and 32. But yeah, I got manhandled by 50. I actually, if you look at all the matchups this week, pretty much everybody got manhandled by at least 50. Kind of a one-sided week. So
Yeah. It literally every single matchup was about 50 points. It's pretty wild, but yeah.
yeah,
I mean, Preston carried by his two starting running backs, and then the defense had to put up
yeah,
22 and a
Buffalo.
half to
That's
Buffalo
gross.
defense. The first defense picked, I believe,
Believe it
auto
or
pick
not,
defense,
yeah, auto drafted
round
defense.
five. No,
And
it was like
and they
round
weren't
nine or
even the top
something. But
scoring defense this week. So get dubbed. Um,
wild.
yeah, as far as this matchup goes, Kyler did his thing. He had like negative points until halftime, and then he ended up with like 27. Typical. I hate it.
Yep. The Raiders really choked that one away.
Yeah, it was great.
Like 0-2, 0-2 on the season.
Yeah,
Pretty disappointing.
Devontae wishes he was back in Green Bay, and we wish he was back here too.
Yeah, they didn't show that graphic about Packers receivers versus Devontae this week at all.
Yeah, he had like
But
how many yards receiving? Did he have like 20?
I'd have to look. But
Not
yeah, it was
much.
like 20 or something like that, 15 or something like that. I'd have to look. But yeah,
We'll
he,
get
he
to it.
didn't do anything.
We'll get to him in the matchup, I'm sure. Yeah, T. Higgins was fine off the concussion. That was cool to see. Houston kind of stinks. James Conner got hurt, ankle injury. Kyle Pitts is disgustingly bad. 2
I
weeks
was
of
just about to ask you.
3.9.
I
I
was,
I hate it. He's great. He lines up at receiver pretty much every play. It's exactly what you want to see. And they just don't throw him the ball. And the head coach, what is it, Arthur Smith?
Arthur Smith.
Yeah, he said this isn't fantasy football. So I don't care how many times Kyle Pitts touches the ball. But I'm pretty sure I saw a stat where it was like Kyle Pitts in Atlanta wins averaged like 80 something receiving yards, and in losses averaged like 40. So hmm, you know, makes you think. They're just trying to
Any?
win, but
I know there's some injuries on your bench. It looks like. But any thoughts on Curtis Samuel in the next couple of weeks? You
yeah,
gonna take any chances with him?
I might start him this week. Honestly, it's a toss up between him and Brandon Cooks. I'm still thinking about it because Brandon Cooks dropped a touchdown in the end zone. He would have looked a lot nicer with that.
Yeah.
But Kamara and Pittman are obviously getting
And
slotted back in. That was tough, missing my two best players.
And Carson Wentz. He's just throwing touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all he does.
Curtis
He throws
Samuel's
touchdowns.
averaging ridiculous number of targets, 11 and 9. Like, come on, man. It's disgusting. So yeah, I
hmm
had to pick him up for this week. I don't remember if I picked him up for last week or if it was for this week. I think it was last week. Preston side of the ball, honestly, everybody was pretty bad except for Aaron Jones and Chubb. Mike Evans is the goat for putting, was it Marshawn Lattimore? Just absolutely dropped him. That was
Yes.
hilarious. Got like a
Yes.
30-yard head start on him and just absolutely threw him into the dirt.
Came from the side. Came from the sideline practically. Yeah.
That was, if you guys didn't see that, it's worth checking out the hit that got Mike Evans suspended for 1 week, just in time for the Green Bay game. Nice. Yeah, Tom
Yeah. He
Brady was
was. He
talking
was
shit.
trying to. His argument was that he was trying to defend his quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, and the
Tom Brady
last
was
time
getting into it.
he threw hands at Marshawn Lattimore, he was also protecting his quarterback. I think it was a Jameis thing. Marshawn was talking shit to
Interesting.
Jameis, and he came over and decked him. So
Interesting.
yeah, Cole Kmet with two gooses in a row. Preston,
That's tough.
you better hope that George Kittle plays this week. It looks like he's going to, barring any setbacks, but one target in each of his games and 0 receptions. Man.
He's got to get back in there and prove that he's a top 3 dynasty tight end. He has to.
Yeah, he's terrible. I mean, well, Justin Fields is terrible. That offense is bad. And
I really thought they were going to do something, actually. I don't like to think
I
about
thought
the preseason,
Kmet
but the
could be good.
preseason he looked good. And Kmet caught a couple passes in the preseason. He looked pretty good. But Packers were able to handle Justin Fields. I think he threw like 11 passes on the night, threw a pick when he actually had to move down the field.
That's the thing, man. When Fields throws 11 passes, not a single person on that offense is going to be relevant except for David Montgomery. Like, that's yikes.
Mhm.
That's terrible. And Zay Jones, I honestly don't know why you started him, but it didn't work out. You still won. Doesn't matter. Good for you,
Yeah.
man.
At least you know that there's probably not many lower points than this in the season.
No. Yeah. Yeah. I don't.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. I play Cade next week. We're both on 2, so we'll see.
Somebody's got to win.
Let's move on to Mr. Limited. Nice change there, Greg. Yeah. Going up against Lane. Got absolutely battered. Lane almost doubled his score. So, yeah, I could have actually beaten Greg this week, so that's cool. I didn't realize that until I was going through these matchups. Yeah, Russell Wilson is not looking good. Did you see that play where he threw that pass and it bounced off of one of the linemen's helmets and just went flying into the air? They almost caught the touchdown anyways.
I did see that play. Yeah. Denver off to a hot start.
Yeah, I mean, I think Richard Sherman tweeted in a response to someone saying Russell Wilson's. Yeah, they tweeted Russell Wilson's stats or something, and I saw Richard Sherman tweeted the cook emoji. Let Russ cut. I was like, ooh, Richard Sherman loves throwing shade.
Yeah.
Chase was pretty mild. Honestly, the Bengals struggled this week, so hey, what are you gonna do? Burrow was on the ground very often. I don't have the sack number, but he was in the dirt. That offensive line still looks terrible. Michael Thomas, second good week in a row, 3 touchdowns, 2 weeks. These.
Yeah, I don't know why I avoided him so much. I really did avoid Michael Thomas, and he's looking good so far.
Yeah.
And also, how about
good.
Mike McCarthy pulling off a win against the Bengals? I mean, they look terrible, but
yeah,
still.
fuck Mike McCarthy, dude.
Cooper Rush out here getting wins.
Hey, respect Cooper Rush though. Yeah.
True.
JT.
Just say Amon-Ra St. Brown, 42.
Oh yeah,
Huge
Amon-Ra,
game.
42 points is at. I mean, 2 touchdowns, 116 yards, 9 catches. I mean, he's got 62 points in 2 games. Damn.
Jesus.
Jared Goff loves that man. Christian Kirk, another great game. 2 touchdowns this week. Hell yeah. Christian Kirk looking good. I know Lane just traded for Kirk in Dynasty, so
Yeah.
hopefully that works out for him. Two. I don't know if you ever told me that somebody would own 2 stocks of Christian Kirk in a fantasy football league after like 2020, I would say their team is probably the worst in the league.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing.
But hey, it's working out.
Huge week for Lane. The Jaguars
actually.
get a 24-0 win over the Colts that I did not see coming. And look at that bench, actually, that Lane had too.
Yeah, every single
That's
person on
crazy.
Lane's team went off except for Isaiah McKenzie, man. Every single person had double digits except for kicker, defense, and McKenzie. And honestly, did they even need McKenzie? Buffalo beat Tennessee 41-7.
Yeah.
That game was gross. Also,
and-
T-Law on
and
Greg's
Tua.
bench. Greg, are you starting T-Law over Russ next week? Because you could. You only had 13
Who
points last week.
do they play? The Chargers next week, I think.
Yeah, they play the Chargers.
Yeah.
And
That is
Russ
gonna be
plays San
tough,
Fran. Not much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tua though, I agree.
Yeah, it does hurt to see Tua on the bench, but there's no way
Yeah, you just
anyone
can't
would
start
predict
Tua.
he scores 50,
Well, maybe.
58 points.
Especially after
Actually,
putting a
Derek
15.
Carr, I don't know. He might start Tua coming up. I didn't look at
He
the
could.
matchup next
Yeah,
week,
wait,
but-
Tua has the Bills though, so no. Probably not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Maybe not the best move there.
Give him a week though. Hey, if he shows up against the Bills, if he can put like 18 points up on the Bills, I think I'd feel confident. So, yeah, we're gonna move on from this one. You know, good stuff here. We've got next up Brandon versus Jake. Ooh, nice game there, Jake. 200 points. What the hell?
Yeah, this is pretty much just how I drew this one up. I wanted to get a huge lead and then Diggs finish off and get to 200. No, really just that Baltimore and Miami game was just crazy watching a kept getting alerts about Lamar because I wasn't actually able to watch the game, but kept getting alerts that Lamar's throwing another touchdown pass, and it was just wild. And
Must be
and
nice.
Rashad Bateman, I didn't regret starting, even though it was like one play pretty much that got him his 25 points. He had like a 75-yard
Oh,
slant
really?
or something like
I
that.
didn't know that.
So that was pretty wild. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
75-yard
mean,
touchdown.
Brandon put up a pretty respectable score at 145, but you're not really beating my top three players this week.
Yeah, highest
So I'm
scorer of
off.
the losers.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to hurt that Garrett Wilson was on the bench for Brandon, but that would also wouldn't have really made a huge difference, unfortunately, for him.
Yeah, I mean, when your opponent
Jalen
puts up
Waddle,
200
though.
points, you lose. It doesn't matter.
And I mean, if Devontae had a normal week and got like 25 or something, it would have been a little bit more interesting too. But
Oh, yeah, Devontae.
I don't
12
know.
yards. That's what it was. 12 yards.
I think Brandon's pretty down on himself now, but I think he's got a lot to look forward to
Oh,
here.
no, I believe the worst franchise is throwing shade at Lane because he plays Lane this week. I see in his photo he's got a Jaguars shirt on and
Oh,
crying. Was that the Michael Jordan meme?
yes.
So
Yeah,
I
I could
believe
see
he's throwing
that.
shade at Lane here,
Gotcha.
calling Jags the worst
The
franchise.
worst
Which,
franchise
I
in the
mean,
league.
after the 24-0 dub,
Couldn't be the Jags.
yeah, Colts in the mud, man. As far as Brandon's team here, Cordero Patterson struggled. Um, Not really what you want to see there. Dalton Schultz got hurt. I know it says questionable on him. It sounds like he's definitely missing this next week. So Brandon doesn't have another tight end in his roster. He's gonna have to probably pivot. Hopefully Schultz makes it back the following week. I know it was that knee injury. I don't remember what it was specifically. Was it a PCL? I don't remember what it was.
So I thought it was PCL. I'd have to look into
It
that.
doesn't say.
Also, Dalvin Cook seems like all the top running backs this year are just kind of off to a
Yeah.
slow start, which is pretty crazy. Makes me regret going with top running backs in like every league. I
True.
think next year I might have to take a top receiver, but no, I mean Dalvin Cook's Dalvin Cook. He'll bounce back, but
Yeah.
that's tough to see it. The slow start there of 21 points through 2 weeks.
It's great to see
They
Waddle
get to
put up
play
44
Detroit.
points, but yeah, I mean, a lot of that's just an artifact of Tua absolutely destroying this week. But he had 20 points last week too, so I think Waddle's good to start the rest of the year.
Yeah, he should be good. And when you have Tyreek Hill on your team too, I mean, the defense has to look at him also
Yep.
for
And
most of the game.
and Sutton had a great week when the Broncos struggled. That's good to see.
Yeah,
Um,
he's.
Good
I've
play
really
on
loved
bench.
Sutton this year going into the season, so
Yeah,
nice to see him get a nice week two after week one was just literally overwhelmed by everyone in Seattle.
yeah. Although Judy did get hurt in this one,
Yeah,
so we'll
I didn't
see.
hear anything about that. Is he going to be back next week? You think?
I think he's questionable. I don't think he practiced today.
Okay.
We'll get to it. I think Nick B might have Judy.
Yeah, we'll get to that one then.
Your side of the ball, yeah. Lamar and Diggs combined put up well over 100 points. That would have beaten both me and Greg. So congratulations there on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bateman, nice. Eckler, decent. I mean, not bad. 18 points, can't argue with that. Especially when all the top running backs, like you said, are struggling. I don't know what possessed you to start Gerald Everett over Dallas Goedert, but it worked out just fine.
Yeah. It's just Keenan Allen being out. I thought that they'd
Oh,
target
sure.
Everett more.
That's fair.
And yeah, he did. If everybody remembers that Thursday night game, feels like forever ago. He did have that play where he caught a pass and got to like inside the 5 yard line, but he was absolutely gassed. I think I might have mentioned it last
Oh,
week.
yeah, you
even.
did. Yep.
He was absolutely gassed. So then he
Let the
kind of took a
interception
play
go
off,
by.
and then it was a pick six. So I could have been looking at like 20 points, and I'd have felt pretty good about picking up a tight end off the waiver wire and getting 20 points. That'd
Oh,
have felt
heck
nice.
yeah. I mean,
But
you would have been at like 210, dude.
yeah, that would have been. I didn't need it. So
No. San Fran.
but Everett
good
still
D.
looked pretty good.
Yeah, very good. How's it feel owning Matt Prater on the worst offense in football?
It is sad. He scored 1 point last week. He scored 1 point this week.
What are they? Are they just
So-
going for two? What's the happening there?
I just see PAT made. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
see like
he's
he
not
missed
missing any
anything.
TATs. I think they're
I
just
guess
going
the-
for two.
They must be going for two. I haven't really watched the Cardinals.
Yeah,
I haven't watched either of the Cardinals games, so
they must
that's
be.
kind of annoying if they're just going for two.
Might have to look
Might
into.
have to-
Hey, I got two elite kickers. I gotta start sit decision
Yeah,
this week. Harrison
I might
Butker
need
and
to, I might need to
Younghoe
make some
Koo.
trades. I'm sure somebody wants like my 8th round pick for a kicker or something.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I can give you Harrison Butker, or
Yeah,
if you want
okay.
Younghoe Koo, I got him too.
Respect. Might have to look into that.
It sounds like Keenan Allen's bouncing back next week too, so you'll probably have him.
That's going to make the
I
decision
believe he
about the flex a little
practiced.
bit interesting.
I mean, Kareem
Yeah, I
Hunt
think
hits
he'll
the
be
bench.
back.
It doesn't matter. Kareem Hunt hits the bench.
He does. You're right. And I
Well,
wish I could say that
Bateman could hit the bench. I don't know. He's had 2 good weeks though.
I'm pretty sure I'll be benching Kareem Hunt at this point.
Yeah.
And then he'll pop off, and then
As
I'll
it
probably
should
start
be.
him next week.
Kareem
But
Hunt
I got to
sucks.
I think I got to just keep rolling with the Bateman, and just keep having him in the flex.
A little
Start
discouraging.
Keenan.
The rest of your bench was kind of terrible. Michael
Yeah,
Carter was fine, but I mean,
I had high hopes for my bench, but they're off to a slow start.
yeah,
Christian Watson and Dobbs. I don't know.
yeah, they'll
We need to
get
see
there.
more from them, but it's still week 2.
Our offense looks pretty slow.
And Elijah Moore. I love Elijah Moore, but Garrett Wilson's getting all the targets right now.
Yeah, well, it sounds like Zach
So-
Wilson's gonna be back not this week, but the following week. So hey, maybe that
That
tendency will
might
switch.
help. I think Zach Wilson liked Elijah Moore.
Yeah, but he didn't have
Yeah.
Wilson on the team at the time, so.
Oh,
We're gonna move on. Cade and Lemons. Baseball Kyler Murray versus Tyreek and Destroy. Lemons slapped him. A good old 50 points per status quo for this week. Tyreek Hill, exactly 50 points. Very nice. 190 yards, 2 tutties. Mike Williams, excellent game. Pat Mahomes, dece. Saquon, not the best. Gibson, meh. Taysom Hill, ballsy start. I kind of liked it actually with Kamara missing time, but hey, you can cut him and not lose any sleep over it. Unfortunately, the other tight end on Mike's team is Dawson Knox, and I believe he picked up an injury this past week.
yep.
Foot
he did.
injury. So we'll see if he even plays this week. Mike might be hitting the waiver wire too. Might be a big tight end wire week.
Yeah, might be.
Cade had Herbert, picked up that nasty rib injury. It sounds like he's gonna play this week though. So we'll
I
see
hope
how that
so.
goes.
I love watching Herbert play. I think he's going to be there, but
It's definitely
yeah,
good for
it
football.
didn't look good. It did not look good in his last game until he threw that pass literally right after the injury. That was an absolute dime.
Yeah, that was
But
because the play before that pass, he couldn't even throw the ball, right? He was just hobbling.
you
And
couldn't
everybody's
even. You didn't. Yeah.
dude, you got to take him out of
couldn't-
the game. And then right after that, he just chucks a deep touchdown.
Beautiful pass.
I mean, all right, guess he can stay in, but hey. Jeff
Yeah, I
Wilson
mean-
seemed fine. What do you do with Derrick Henry? Another bad week. Titans look
I don't know.
terrible. I mean, they played Buffalo. Buffalo's probably the best team in the NFL right now. But, I mean, 8.5 points and 7 last week against the Giants. He's getting the ball. I think you're afraid. I think Cade said he's on the block, if I remember correctly.
You did say that. Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah,
he's
that
going to
probably
get
was-
too many offers.
That was probably really tough to see. Nearly Justin Jefferson, DK, and Derrick Henry all being in the single digits. Jefferson made it. He had 10.8, but I mean that's crazy.
Yeah, Jefferson's a
An
fluke.
average week for Jefferson should be their combined score right there.
I mean, you're looking at that
So-
for the rest of the season for Metcalf, I think. Geno Smith is not the answer, and, I mean, 8.6 last week, 7.5 this week. He's getting targets, 6 targets, 7 targets, but, I mean, 36 and 35 yards, that offense is real bad.
Maybe we'll see Irv Smith get dealt to somebody that's tight end needy, depending on how that waiver wire is looking. But looking at Irv Smith, and I mean,
Irv Smith
he got a
sucks.
decent amount of targets. 8 targets last week.
That's true.
They were pretty much down the game to the Eagles, though. That was fun to watch
Yeah.
them get destroyed by the Eagles.
It
We'll
was.
say.
I agree. It also means that the Packers are losing to the Eagles in the playoffs. So. Hunter Renfrow, 10 points, got concussed, fumbled in OT to lose the game. Who knows if he's playing this week with that concussion? He did not practice today, so it doesn't look like it. That sucks, man.
Yeah.
But it was funny to watch, let me tell you. Watching Arizona win that game after the Raiders had, 20-0? That was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I know that was crazy. The 2-point conversion, the 20 seconds running down the field, whatever it was, that was mania.
The bench for Cade, also pretty bad. Sammy Watkins had 12 points. He actually looked pretty decent against Chicago. And Irv Smith, hey, not a whole lot going on Mike's side of the ball either. James Robinson actually just had a pretty good start to the year. He's got 20 points and 16 points in 2 weeks. A lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, yeah. Mike's been pretty high on James Robinson, and it's been paying off.
Uh-huh.
Will ETN? Do you think ETN is going to take over all in the next couple of weeks, or is it still the James
Nah.
Robinson show?
I don't think ETN ever takes over in that offense unless there's an injury.
It was funny how it was pretty much assumed that he would be.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess,
Robinson was a late round pick.
but
Well, and
you know
part
what,
of it was
ride the hot hand.
Robinson was it an Achilles injury? Or
Yes,
was it ACL? It was, yeah, like
I believe it was Achilles.
I think it was Achilles too. I mean, nobody comes back from Achilles injuries for running backs, and the fact that he came back from it in half a season? I mean, it was mid to late last year, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was a late injury.
Was Akers also Achilles? I want to say
Yeah,
Akers
it was.
Achilles too. He's not putting up James Robinson numbers right now.
Akers doesn't look very good.
Yeah.
So sorry to say that to you.
Yeah.
He did have 15 carries this week though.
Good sign. They tried to force it to him after week 1 of like 2 carries, 3 carries.
Man, I wish I had the balls to bench Zeke. Good for you, Mike. Debo in the flex, honestly, he's been pretty average. But now that Trey Lance is gone, Jimmy G's back. Trey Lance is out for the season, it sounds like. So
yeah,
maybe that'll switch back up to what happened last year. I know Debo was a lot more deadly last year.
Yeah, I haven't really got to watch the 49ers yet, but he did have a lot more success when Jimmy G was the quarterback. That is a fact. So see how that goes. I don't know if they're running him as much as they did last year. I haven't watched, but
yeah,
felt like he was like always doing reverses or something to stay involved.
Yeah, he ran the ball a bit and he caught a few passes here and there. He was just good. But we're gonna move on.
Football player.
We're going to go to Nick B versus George, where there was another basically a 50-point win for George. Daddy laying it down. The only notable thing about George's team this week, I think, is he has 3 quarterbacks, and they were all pretty bad. Stafford was fine. 24 points is all right. Rodgers, what do you do with Rodgers? You can't start him until he does something, right? This is 2 weeks in a row, isn't it? Didn't you have like 1 point last week? I can't believe you start -0.3. I cannot believe you started him this week, George. I know it's Chicago at home, but dude,
I didn't realize he had -0.3 last week.
Yeah, I mean he didn't have a touchdown. He didn't pass for 200 yards. He had a pick.
That's wild.
And yeah, I mean, 17 points against the Bears is not what you're looking for. And Brady had 10. I mean, Brady's offense, the Tampa Bay offense is going to struggle, man. Julio didn't practice this week. Godwin didn't practice this week. Mike Evans is suspended for the week.
Yep.
Brady's not getting fantasy points next week. It's got to be Stafford for George. And who do they have next week? Arizona. Oh, they'll be fine.
Yeah, honestly, I know you said you would. You would not start Aaron Rodgers last week, but I think I definitely would have done that since it was prime time against the Bears.
Okay.
That's the only reason.
Respect.
Quarterbacks.
You're not starting him against Tampa though. In Tampa, right? I mean, you can't. In Tampa.
Yeah. Who do the Rams play next week?
Arizona.
Arizona, yeah, you just said that.
It's Stafford.
Yeah, I definitely play that. Yeah, it's Stafford. You're right. It's going to be Stafford.
There you go, George. There's your start-sit decision. Cup, still a beast. Plus, you have the Stafford Cup stack. I mean, how can you not love that? Fournette's supposed to be playing next week, I believe. So that's good. I know he's been banged up. Mark Andrews is a beast. Green Bay defense, nice. 12 points. Nick's side of the ball, Jalen Hurts looks the part, man. He looked great this week. Not only did he have a good fantasy week, which is easy enough for Jalen Hurts with his rushing yards, but I mean he threw for over 300 yards. He's just fantastic. I mean he had like 200 yards passing, I think, in the first half.
Yeah, he was putting on a show.
Yeah.
He helped Nick B get over 100 points. That could have easily been the lowest scoring week.
Could have been hanging with me and Greg, man.
Yeah, that's tough, but. No, Jalen Hurts, I thought he looked awesome. I mean, he looked poised in the pocket. He kept his eyes downfield, and he was just hitting everything. A.J. Brown was getting open like he does.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame he was playing against A.J. Brown, but yeah. Jerry Jeudy picked up that, was it a shoulder injury, I think it was? Yeah, he picked up that shoulder injury. So it sounds like he's going to be out for this week, maybe next week too. We'll see.
Yeah.
Ramondre, having to start Ramondre is tough. I mean, he has Dobbins on the bench. Dobbins should be back this week. He had a full practice today. Can you start Dobbins first week back? Do you want to start Ramondre? Ramondre has Baltimore.
Let's see who he's got. He's got.
I think you have to roll the dice, man. I mean, he's got McKissick. You could probably start McKissick,
That is
actually.
tough.
James Cook, you can't really start. Gainwell, yeah. Might be McKissick. Just for the PPR. I mean, McKissick's not going to touch the ball on the ground, but he'll catch 5 passes. 7.
Yeah,
this
not
week.
a great situation there, unfortunately,
Mm-mm.
for Nick. But
You need Dobbins back real bad.
Gabriel Davis, I think, should be coming back. I want to say.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to play this week too. He was limited today, so he'll be more of a game time, I think. And they play Miami. They might need him. That's a division game, yeah. No,
Mm-hmm. No.
no, not.
Wait, what?
Yes,
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
no,
It definitely
yeah,
is.
yeah,
It
you're right.
definitely
Yep.
is.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the Bills and the Dolphins.
Yep,
I was
yep,
about
yep,
to say.
So they'll probably need him for that because Miami looks not bad. Yeah, their defense looks pretty bad, which is great for fantasy.
True. That's perfect for fantasy.
Hey, if somebody needs a tight end, George has Higbee on the bench. Higbee's looked pretty good to start the year, and it's not like Mark Andrews is going anywhere. He's starting.
Yeah, he doesn't have to think about that at all. That's a good
Mm-mm.
thing about picking a tight end like him. Or
Yes,
Kelsey. Nick has got Kelsey.
Yeah, or like
That is a good feeling. Just
picking
set
a guy
and
like
forget it with
picking a
tight
guy
end.
like Kyle Pitts.
Yep, set and forget Kyle Pitts. Pretty easy.
Yeah. Fuck me.
That's tough. I had Kyle Pitts last year, so I kind of know your pain.
He was
But
okay
I don't know. I
last
didn't love
year,
the
at least.
comment. I didn't love Arthur Smith's comment.
No, that was scary.
Yeah, I guess it's not about fantasy football, but also, use the guy that's literally a beast.
He's probably your best player. I mean, Drake London looks good, but man, Kyle Pitts is nice.
Yeah.
Russell Gage might be startable if he plays this week. He's been hurt too, right? He played 66% of snaps last week, limited this week. Yeah, he'll probably play. Russell Gage might be in, but not in George's roster, unfortunately.
Yeah, he won't have to do that, I don't think.
Yeah, feel like that's pretty good for the matchups. Let's go
I
on
don't know
to
anything else.
let's move to the standings. See what's happened this week. See how far my team has
to move the
dropped.
standings. I would love to move the standings.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Hey, kicking us off, yours truly. He's got a nice little early lead through the first 2 weeks. I don't know if we'll be able to hold up this lead with Lemons this week. I'm playing against. There's a little preview there, but yeah, that 200-point game really got me up there into the 300s on the season.
Yeah, 332. Damn.
Yeah, and Lemons second. He's in second right now, also undefeated, but he's got about 14 points on George, the third undefeated team. So we got 3 undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got 4 that are 1-1, and then 3 that are 0-2. So
Yeah, we've got Brandon, Lane, Nick, and Manthai rounding out the 1-1 teams, and Mr. Limited, Cade, and I at 0-2. And Cade and I play this week, so there's going to be at most two 0-2, I guess 0-3 teams after this next week. We'll see. Maybe Greg can win one and there'll just be one. That would be embarrassing, wouldn't it? Couldn't be me. It might be me.
Greg's got Nick B this week. So see how that one goes.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one.
But that's certainly winnable so far
Yeah.
the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, with Ramondre in the lineup, you can always win.
True.
sorry, Nick.
Never a doubt.
All right, best players of the week. Tua was at 57.86. Disgusting. Lane has him on the bench, imagine. Still does, it looks like. Aaron Jones had 35 for Manthai. He also had the number 2 with Chubb. He had like 32. Tyreek had 50. He was on Lemons' team. Mark Andrews had the 28.7 for George. The kicker, we are 2-2 for, or 2-4-2 on the top scoring kicker being unowned. Graham Gano, 17 points.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Might have to look at that.
Yeah, over all the time that I've done the weekly rewinds, I've typed them all up. It's very frequently the kicker is unowned. Like, easily the highest rate. It's got to be over 50%, which is kind of wild considering we have 12 of them rostered in this league, at least.
feel like whenever I try to get fancy and pick up a kicker for a certain matchup, it almost never
No,
works.
yeah.
But this
You
is
know
gonna be
why,
this
Jake?
might be the time.
Because kickers are freaking random, man. They don't matter.
They're
Graham
so
Gano, come
random.
on. See the Jets?
Yeah.
Graham Gano versus the Browns. Who picks up a Jets kicker?
I know.
Uh,
And if I pick up like a kicker on the best offense, it's all PATs. So it's like,
exactly.
or you pick up the Cardinals and they get a lot of points, but apparently they go for a bunch of 2-point conversions. So
Yeah, that's absolutely nuts.
yeah.
Top scoring defense was Tampa with 28 points. Tampa was a free agent, but George picked them up. So chasing the points there, George.
I can't remember. I think Preston might have drafted 2 defense or something, and he dropped
Ooh,
Tampa. I want to say. I think that's what happened.
Perhaps.
So I'm actually surprised nobody picked him up the first week. I guess I'm not too surprised as a defense, but yeah, Tampa Bay's got some guys.
They do have some guys, and their offense is bad enough that they need the defense. So, hey. As far as transactions go, it looks like Mike made a transaction an hour before kickoff. He picked up Cincinnati's defense instead of Denver, which kind of backfired, honestly, because Cincinnati had 4.5 points and Denver had 9.5, I believe. So, bad move there, Mike. Who's Cincinnati have this week? Jets. All right, good move, Mike. Oh, hey, they put up 31 against the Browns. Browns have a decent defense. Yeah. MVS and Alec Pierce got cut. Sammy Watkins got cut after the big game, but Cade picked up Michael Gallup, and I respect the shit out of that. I can't believe he didn't get drafted and just stashed into the IR spot of somebody's team. That's a miss, man. I don't think so. I was looking through the transactions earlier. I didn't see anybody cut him. So, I can't imagine anybody would cut him. I mean, you just stick him in the IR, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so, that could be it, honestly.
So,
That's probably why it didn't happen. I think I drafted Tolbert.
Oh, yeah.
That's tough.
How quickly did you cut him?
Pretty fast.
A couple defenses got picked up. Chicago, Tampa, and the Saints got picked up. Cleveland got dropped. Njoku and the Colts. The one that sticks out to me, though, Cade picked up Calvin Ridley, and I have no idea why. Because Calvin Ridley's missing the full year, right?
So, yeah, it was the full year. I think Hopkins was, 6 weeks? He was the full year. I'm trying to think of...
Hopkins might have been 8. Was he 6 or 8?
8 weeks, 6 or 8, something like that. Might have been 8. But, yeah, Ridley's out the whole year, last I checked.
And you can't keep him because he wasn't drafted. So, I don't know. I have no idea why Cade picked up Calvin Ridley.
Maybe he just wants to go on a playoff run with Calvin Ridley on the roster.
I did that last year with Fitzmagic.
That's what I would respect.
Let me tell you, it did not work out for me. I lost. I'm pretty sure I finished like 3rd last in the league. Misplaced.
Yeah, sometimes I guess if you have an open spot in the playoffs, you pick up like a Tim Tebow or something back in the day. Just to be on the team.
Dude, I rode Fitzmagic all year in my IR in that league.
Love it.
So
just for the vibes.
Yeah, I drafted him. I believed that he was gonna be great, and felt like he deserved to win the ship. I let him down.
Still sad that you didn't get to play for the Commanders a lot. Well, actually, it was the Washington football team last year.
That's true. It was the football team.
I wanted to see him play with McLaurin, but you know what? Wentz is doing his thing now, so it's all good.
All right. Well, that was the transactions. Cade, questionable moves, but hey, let's move on to the matchup previews. We've got starting us off me versus Cade this week. Hey, maybe you'll start Calvin Ridley. That'd be kind of cool.
Ooh.
Herbert, hopefully he's a little more hobbled than he's been with that rib injury. Pittman and Kamara are back, so at least they should be back. That'll be nice. I've been tossing around the idea between Henderson and Dillon. I'm afraid of Tampa's defense, though, so I think it's got to be Henderson.
Yeah, I think I'd do the same thing if I were you. Go with Henderson versus the Cardinals.
And then it's Brandon Cooks or Curtis Samuel for me, and I'm probably going to switch that like 3 times before kickoff. We'll see. Cade, Hunter Renfrow. I don't think Hunter Renfrow's probably... I don't think he's going to play. He didn't practice today. I think usually you have to be limited on Wednesday on a concussion if you're going to play, from what I've seen in the past. So he'll have to flex.
Not a good sign for Renfrow then.
No. I don't really know who Cade flexes. You've got ETN, probably not Akers, although he plays Arizona, so maybe. I don't think you can start Ken Walker until he starts producing. Claypool's been bad. Honestly, you could
Burks,
probably
you
cut.
can't trust him yet, but
No. I mean, he's been
uh,
okay. 8.5, 8.7.
yeah, 8 of the game.
He'll only get more involved, but I mean, Tennessee just looks terrible. Michael
Yeah,
Gallup might be back. Is he going to be back? Michael Gallup appears to be on track for some reps in week 3. Yeah, you can't start that. I mean, he's going to be out of pitch count. So, we'll see. It's probably going to be Etienne or Akers.
most likely, yeah. I don't think I'd be comfortable starting Akers at all right now, though.
Yeah.
I feel like it's possible that week 2 he was kind of McVay was kind of literally trying to get him involved. And now this week he'll fall back into his Henderson.
Yeah.
But
I like to think
we'll
that
see.
because I have Henderson, but hey.
Yeah, that would backfire if Henderson did bad and he started Akers.
Yeah. So, one of these teams will be 0-3 and the other one will be 1-2. Let's hope that I'm 1-2. Next up, we've got.
By the way,
yeah.
if Herbert does miss time, I like Kirk Cousins this week against the Lions.
True.
There'll be
The
some
Lions
shootouts against the Lions.
Yeah, the defenses looked very susceptible.
Like they got Hutchinson and all, but they'll still give up a lot of points.
Yeah.
Most likely.
He'll be fine.
Quick pass to Jefferson, that's points for Cousins, so.
Yeah, when Jefferson takes off for like 80 yards, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got for that matchup.
We've got next up Mr. Limited against Nick B. Greg, I respect the grind if you're starting Russ full year because you kind of have to when he's your team name and photo. But, I mean, you're probably starting Russ over T-Law. Right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
he had 23
points
he looked
week
good
1.
last
He'll be
week,
okay.
but having that be back to back is another thing.
Yeah, I mean he's still a Jaguar. Sorry, Lane. Chase will bounce back. Michael Thomas, if he keeps doing his thing, JT should probably bounce back. Although the Colts, I don't know what's wrong with the Colts, but they look bad. They need Michael Pittman, I think.
They do.
Yeah, Greg's team is nice. Greg, I might send you some trade offers, dude.
Yeah, he had the nasty keepers.
Yeah, Mixon, JT, Chase. God damn.
Yeah.
I like Nick B in this one, not going to lie. I think McCaffrey bounces back in a big way. Jalen Hurts looks god tier.
I think if he gets Gabriel Davis back,
I don't think
I feel a lot better. I just feel like I feel a lot better if he gets Gabriel Davis back.
That's true.
And he's healthy.
That's a good point.
I don't know.
That's actually true, though, because Judy's probably not going to play, so you kind of need Gabe Davis. If both of those guys don't play, it's probably this one.
If McCaffrey has a slow week, I don't know. I'm a little scared there.
And honestly,
not terrible at all. But...
if Dobbins is back, I'm probably starting him over Ramondre. I know it's scary, but Ramondre's pretty bad.
Yeah, Ramondre, he's got about 10 points through the first 2 weeks.
So
I think you take a chance and go with Dobbins. Why not?
Yeah. Let's see. We've got Brandon versus Lane, the worst franchise in the Jaguars versus the skeptical Jaguars fan. Laner, you might have to change that team name. Are you still skeptical? They 1-1
the hopeful
now.
Jags fan. They're 1-1.
Shutout against the Colts.
Blanking the Colts. Crazy. Trevor Lawrence is like 25 for 30. Just wild stuff. Lane got a huge win last week. Couldn't have been a better week for Lane.
No, absolutely not.
Hopefully keep that going.
Congratulations, Lane. I'm real happy for you, man. Josh Allen's gonna probably have 40 points, so run. Devontae against Tennessee is probably gonna destroy them.
He's gonna bounce back.
Waddle could get shut down against Buffalo, though. I think Miami might struggle in that one. Buffalo is disgustingly good. Dalvin Cook against Detroit seems fine. I think if Dalvin Cook stinks against Detroit, I'm worried. You don't think Waddle can get shut down? Yeah, maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess is Tua going to have enough time to get the ball downfield? He had 19 targets. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's just so far the Dolphins have thrown a lot of quick passes he's got a couple of quick passes and he's just gone.
Did you know Waddle
he's
had
so
19 targets?
Yeah, there's a lot of it's quick passes.
Oh, I did not know
Actually,
that.
I can't confirm that because I didn't watch, but
yeah,
I know he's getting a lot of slant opportunities and stuff like that. And if he beats one guy, he's outrunning the safety or making some movement or getting past safety. It's crazy to have that with Tyreek Hill on the same team. I'll mention that every single week because it is crazy. I mean, as a Packers fan, imagine.
Imagine. Yeah.
Just imagine that.
Pain.
Jalen, that luxury.
Yeah, must be nice. Dalton Schultz probably isn't going to play this week, I don't think. So, like I said earlier, Brandon will be probably dipping the waiver wire there. Sutton's a beast in the flex. Laner starting Derek Carr. You can't start Tua against Buffalo. But, Derek Carr's playing Tennessee. He will be totally fine. Kirk's been good. Amon-Ra's beast. Yeah, Lane's roster seems good. I know Swift's is questionable. I think he's going to be fine for this week. Starting Drake London, though. Yeah, and you totally can. He had 12 points and 25 last week. Yeah. Drake London's a fine start.
Definitely do that.
That's Drake London. Nice. Damn.
I'm interested to see if Dalvin Cook struggles anymore for
You
Brandon.
Can't struggle against the Lions, man. If you struggle against
the
Lions.
I'm just saying, if he struggles or something, if I'm Brandon, I'm trying my best to make some trades and trade some of those bench receivers, maybe like one starting receiver or something. Get a stud or something. I don't know. I'd feel a lot better if I didn't have Cordell Patterson as a running back too, but I didn't like Cordell. I think you liked him a lot more than me, but
yeah,
I think he's got plenty of receivers, plenty of trade bait. Fine with him.
Algier split a lot of time with Cordell last year, or not last year, last week. So we'll see.
I mean, it's early in the season, so he's got a lot of time. I still really like Brandon's team. I'm looking at the top four, and doesn't get a whole lot better than that right now. If Dalvin Cook returns to form.
Let's bop on over to Manthai and George. Manthai's projected for 98. Oh, he's still got Mike Evans in, though. Mike Evans is going to hit the bench this week. Well, he'll hit the IR this week, I believe. Oh, can you put suspended players in the IR? I don't think you can.
I don't think we can in this league.
Which makes me question even further why Cade picked up Calvin Ridley.
And Preston still got Trey Lance. Is that a keeper situation potentially for him, or I don't know what's going on there? I guess that you might as well hold on to Trey Lance.
I mean, you can stick him in the IR.
You didn't have anybody else. Yeah, so I guess he's just holding on to him in the IR. Don't blame him. If you could hold suspended players in the IR, that would be pretty nasty for 1 week holding Evans there. But
yeah, I don't think you can. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't.
Just Tyler Lockett hitting the starting lineup. It could be Devin Duvernay.
Pretty sure Lockett had a big week last week on
how the hell are you starting
bench?
Zay Jones over both those guys, dude? No, Preston, how did you beat?
I didn't realize you started Zay Jones over Duvernay.
Yeah, it really.
I mean, Duvernay didn't have a huge week last week. I'm just looking at it, he had 12, but
yeah, it's fine though. Zay Jones stinks. 12.5 and 5. Ew. Come on, Preston, get better. Cole Kmet, I don't think you can start Cole Kmet. You better hope Kittle plays. On Georgia's side of the ball, he does have Stafford in. Looks like he took our advice. He must be listening to the live.
It's a good call. It's a great call.
I agree. Everything else seems in order. Yeah. Looks good. Bench looks kind of bad, though. Except for Higby. Higby looks good.
Yeah, I mean, Mark Andrews coming off a huge – that's going to be a huge difference if Kittle doesn't end up playing. And he's got to start Kmet versus Mark Andrews.
Oh, that would be
That's
terrible.
a mismatch. That is a mismatch.
That's
Mark
a goose,
Andrews
man.
Got 11 targets, 9 catches, 104 yards, and a touchdown. That's Mark Andrews for you.
Let's bop over to the last matchup of the week. You versus Mike.
Huge matchup.
Yeah, this is actually a big one. 2-2-0 teams. Damn. Lamar starting. He'll be a beast.
Live projection, it's about 135 to rounding up 132. Really close matchup.
Yeah.
I am nervous looking at this team. I will say that. Mahomes is projected 30 flat. I don't know. I don't want to play Tyreek Hill after what happened last week at all. He is going against the Bills.
Yeah, this is the week to play him.
It's possible I got lucky there. It's very possible.
Mike Williams, he'll probably be pretty good.
I feel like Mike Williams can't do as good as last week.
Probably not, but he'll be fine.
Not only because Keenan Allen's back, but also just
it's what he does.
That game, he caught every single ball, and it was crazy.
Mike's gonna play that clip back to you once Mike's.
He should. He should play that clip back to me.
Once Mike Williams drops 3 touchdowns and Keenan Allen goes catch this.
I'll cry, but yeah, I don't know. He's got the human cheat code in Taysom Hill in his tight end spot. See what happens there, but
yeah, there's no way you're keeping Taysom Hill in the tight end spot, right, Mike?
We'll see.
I guess if Dawson Knox doesn't play, you're gonna be dipping in the waiver wire. Taysom might be the best option. Gross.
Yeah, I mean, this is just going to be a big matchup. I'd love to start at 3-0, but we got to respect Michael's team, and he's got that pop-off potential. Like, Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Saquon, Mike Williams.
You really need Javonte to turn up this
That's
week.
scary. Yeah, I really do. And last week it was a little bit off, but he only had one catch last week compared to whoever it was, 11 catches week
Yeah, it was a
one.
lot week 1.
So let's get like 5 or 6 catches. How about that, Javonte? I'd feel good
Well,
about
if
that.
Judy misses, he might get a few more. Get a little bump.
Very possible.
So, yeah.
So I don't think I'm going to be making any. I don't think I'm going to make any flex moves other than this right now. Just looking at it, maybe Michael Carter, but I doubt it. I think I'm just going to roll with Bateman.
Yeah, I think you. Yeah, probably. Although Michael Carter's playing Cincy. Cincy's defense was supposed
yeah,
to be
I know.
good, but they're really not.
It's going to most likely be Bateman. I'll just say that, but that is
Yeah.
somebody I might just have to swap out before. Certainly not going to start Kareem Hunt because it's a Thursday game, and I just don't want to. Starting him for the Thursday game feels like a terrible idea, but I'll be kind of disappointed if he pops off.
I think that Pittsburgh-Cleveland game is going to be a stink fest, man.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned this last week, but Chase Edmonds, who I drafted just because he sat there forever and I didn't want to pick him at all, I still don't see myself ever starting him, honestly.
Yeah, he's not been good. He had like one target last week, I think it was.
Yeah, let me look. Oh, he got 3 targets, 1 catch.
3 target. Oh, 1 catch. Okay.
He only had 5 rushing attempts.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing though. Mostert's in front of him. As soon as Mostert goes down, Edmonds is going to be the guy. And it's not if Mostert goes down, it's when. Trust me, I know.
That is true. That is true. I guess last week, now that I think about it, they were playing the Ravens, so they didn't really. They got down pretty early, so they had to do a lot of passing.
Yeah, that game was a shootout.
And they've got receivers; they don't need to throw the ball to Chase Edmonds.
Although it kind of feels like that's the kind of game where Chase Edmonds gets receptions, but
I would hope so, but it didn't happen. So
yeah, we'll see. All right, I think that wraps us up. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Good luck this week to everybody except for Mike and Cade.
Yeah.
Keep that going. You know, it worked for you last week, Jake, but it didn't really work for me. So.
Well, we'll see if I can keep it rolling.
Yeah. All right.
I also say good luck to everybody. Have a good one.
Yep. Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.